and then we'll get started. I'm going to mute you guys. Okay, awesome. So today, or this week, I should say, we are on the finale of our series that we've been doing on the 8-limb path of yoga. And I'm just going to combine the final 3 today because really they're meant to go together. Dharana is number 6, and Dharana is concentration. So anytime we're concentrating, we're trying to focus the mind. So if we're sitting and centering at the very beginning of the practice, we are focused on our posture and we are focused on our breath. And then when we start to move the body, our attention goes into the physical anatomy, especially when we're being told instructions or alignment cues, and we're meditating on that and putting our concentrated effort on making sure that we're lining up right and that the energy is feeling good while we're in the pose. And then in meditation, of course, we have lots of ways to create dharana. Dharana basically is any technique that we use for meditation. So if your technique was gazing into the flame of a candle, that is your object of focus. That is dharana. If you have a mantra that you, or affirmation, that you want to say over and over in your mind, that's your technique, that's your concentration, that's your dharana. When we focus the inner gaze towards the midpoint of the brow, towards the spiritual eye, the drishti is our concentration. And this is why in balancing poses especially, we always say, set your drishti on something unmoving, something stable, because a focused eye is a focused mind. And so all of that comes under the category of dharana. So it's through the concentrated effort or through the technique that we open the doorway to meditation. And meditation is sustained focus. It's the sustained concentration. So it's sticking with it long enough so that we break through a barrier and we enter into this meditative state where we arrive. And so if you look at meditation, they often say there's getting there and being there. Well, the getting there is dharana. The being there is the meditation itself. And then, of course, the meditation can open the doorway and lead us into what's called samadhi. And samadhi is the 8th and final step of the yoga philosophy. Now, samadhi is, it's reminded me of Samadhi Yoga, my favorite yoga studio in Colorado, in Denver. There were a couple of them. Was named Samadhi Yoga, and they closed last summer. I was so sad about it. But samadhi means the perfect, profound peace. It is the, to me, I feel like when Jesus said the peace that passeth all understanding, to me, that's the most profound peace. So that's the state of samadhi. And let me just say, samadhi is really difficult to describe in words, but I'm trying. Samadhi is also ultimate union. When we actually feel whole, complete, contented, absorbed in the infinite, absorbed within the presence of God, absorbed in just the present moment, where we're not being pulled one direction or another, where we're not feeling likes or dislikes, where we're not feeling duality. It's just, and that's the best way to describe it. There's really no words to describe it, but you'll know it when you catch a glimpse of it or when you get a taste of it. And it's joyous, but without joy. You're feeling it without any expression. And it's awesome. So hopefully today, what we're going to do is different techniques, whether it's breath work, whether it's kriyas, whether it's a flow, and we're going to microdose ourselves with meditation increments through the practice. And then hopefully you got that message in the email. We are going to end with yoga nidra, which I know everybody loves. So let's meet on the mat and let's go ahead and start in a restorative back bend. I'll let you choose your back bend. So if you want it to be, more dynamic than what I'm going to show you, then of course you can do that. But your bolster comes to your low back. You drape down over it and check in with your low back. If you're having any discomfort with your low back, I suggest sitting on a folded blanket and then lying over the bolster. And since you're at home, feel free to layer up or to use a blanket to stay warm. And so first and foremost, we're concentrating on getting the body comfortable. So the body needs to be warm to be comfortable. Otherwise, you're tensing your muscles from being cold. Once you get the body established, once you get the body in a good temperature, then you can close your eyes and you can gaze towards the third eye as if you were looking off into the horizon. So already you're taking steps with Dharana. And then once you have your body and your gaze established, you'll start your pranayama, your mindful breath work. And I know when we get into a restorative pose, we can let go of the breath. And I usually advise you to let go of the breath, but not today. I want you to consciously control the breath, breathing in and breathing out, so that you are focused on your breath, becoming absorbed by the breath, and opening up this vital life force to flow through your mind, your body, and your spirit. I would suggest the diaphragmatic breathing because it is calming and relaxing. And as you continue to breathe, you can just listen to what I have to say. There are days and times where we may not have a half an hour or an entire hour to do a yoga practice in order to prepare ourselves to sit for meditation. So we know that an asana practice is a perfect prelude to meditation, but it's not required. There's a lot of people in the world that meditate who do absolutely no yoga or exercise at all, especially just prior to sitting. And so I want you to stay in that realm of self-study today, being self-observant on when or if these different techniques that are given to you before we sit still, see what works for you, see what takes you to that place of meditation or to that place of contentment and peace, so that you know shortcuts in your daily life to practice beforehand. For instance, maybe a certain type of breath work works for you to be able to sit in meditation. Maybe it's a kriya that prepares you enough to sit to meditate. And maybe it's just a little bit of a flow that you need to dispel the stress and tension from the body, to enliven the mind enough to stay focused for meditation. Take 3 more breaths while you're here. Bend your knees on your in-breath. And then allow the knees to open out to the sides and the soles of the feet to come together to recline butterfly. And you don't need any props because we're only holding it for 3 cleansing breaths. Because I know the sensation can really fire up initially. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Breathe it out audibly through the mouth. 2 more. Next one. Now lift one knee up and roll to the other side of the body and lift your way up to take a seat. When you come up to take a formal seat, you're going to use your prop or pillow to sit on the edge so that you get a neutral low back and your knees kind of cast in the direction of the floor. And your hands can rest anywhere on your lap. We're going to do a little bit more breath work, and then we're going to sit, feel, and see if we can drop in. We're going to start with that Shri Shri Ravi Shankar breath, where we inhale, fly the arms up and the fingers wide, and as we exhale, the fists come back down. Now this is a short, sharp inhale and exhale through the nose. It's pretty rapid, but you don't have to go too fast. All right, let's begin. 3, 2, and 1. Relax your hands open on your lap. Close the eyes. And you may feel at first a spark or a tingling effect, maybe across your chest or upper back or in your shoulders or hands. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose. And I want you to notice how the breath becomes more clear as we cleanse the nasal passages. So hands to the fist. Second round, same breath. Three, 2, and 1. Relax your arms down, palms open, eyes closed. Have you noticed your breath being a little clearer and crisper now that we've been doing this vigorous breath through the nose? I have been doing this breath this season of allergies because they've been way worse than previous seasons. And it's helped me a lot. Let's do one more round. Let's begin. This is an invigorating breath. It's an energizing breath. It brings the energy up. And if the energy is lifted, generally our mood is lifted too. So this can be a mood enhancer. 3, 2, and 1. That's going to complete this pranayama, but I still would like you to sit still. Maybe you notice you're sitting a little taller because when we extend the limbs, it helps to extend the vertebrae. Maybe the arm bones are a little heavier, and maybe the heart feels a little bit more propped up and supported. Just notice if these are true for you. And we're going to sit for just a moment in silence for you to do that introspective work. Maybe pranayama is all you needed to prepare to sit. We're going to explore a few kriyas now. So you've done this with me in the past. We're just going to take the fingertips down to the floor, or, they can hover too if they don't touch since you're sitting up on something. But the inhale, the arms reach up, and the exhale, the hands come down. And it's pretty quick and vigorous, same type of breath work that we just did. So sometimes I instruct bringing the hands together at the top and then flipping the hands out. But earlier today when I tried to do this, that did not feel good to my shoulders, which is why I'm not instructing it now. Of course, if that feels better for your shoulders, you can do that. I'm just simply lifting the arms up and down. Nothing too complicated. 3, 2, and 1. Now, palms open, eyes closed. What I love about that kriya is it not only gives us the same effect as the previous breath work, but with the arms fanning around the body, it's like we're cleansing and clearing our aura or our energetic field. And that's part of the intention of that kriya. Notice I feel more expanded energetically. I feel like the energy around me is much wider. See if that is true for you. When we are in meditation, it is about expansion. Expanding our hearts and minds. And then crack your eyelids open. We're going to lift the arms into this, oh man, it's called so many things. Goalpost arms, cactus arms, winged arms. I like goddess arms. And we're going to twist left and then right. But we're going to go faster than this, meaning that we need a shorter, quicker breath. Don't feel like you have to twist very far. I'm saying from personal experience because I'm still nurturing an SI joint. And so I can't twist very deep on one side right now. So monitor your waist, monitor your low back, but we are creating the rotation, the twisting effect through the upper body. Your hips can stay grounded and stable. Now, this is also a kriya. This is good for the liver. This is good for helping to combat anger or those type of raw emotions that affect the liver. It's like we're trying to wring it out of our system. Now come back to center. Relax your arms down. And I want you to notice after the twisting kriya, what is the state of your mind? Maybe it's more awakened because the energy is promoted to rise up through all the energetic centers to the brain. Keep gazing into the third eye. That's Dharana, our concentration. And just follow the breath in and out, becoming absorbed in this energy that you generated. And maybe even affirming, in stillness, I touch my inner strength. In stillness, I get to know myself. And then open up your eyes. We're gonna take the prop away, and I'm gonna scoot away from Ringo a minute. And notice how you were crossing your legs before. If you were in a cross-leg position, if you weren't, it's not gonna matter. But if you were, you're gonna swap it. We're gonna take the hands to the knees and we're gonna do a different Kriya. And think about isolating your ribs. And it's like rolling around inside of a barrel. So you're kind of puffing the chest forward as you inhale and come through center. And as you exhale, you're pulling back through the abdominals. And then reverse that. And so when I'm teaching this in a full classroom environment, I can tell the students that are trying so hard to think about what to do, and thinking can get in the way of this type of movement. This is more of a freestyle movement. Don't think about it being right or wrong. Just roll in circles with your ribs. And then come back to center. All right. Start to lean towards your right knee, drop down and sweep over to the left and inhale up. I know you guys have done this with me before. This Kriya is similar to the last one we did, except the circles are much larger in diameter. And we're dipping lower over the lap, which targets the hips. So we're trying to loosen up any stiffness. I'm trying to free up the body. This is also good for the kidneys and the adrenal glands. And you can be slow, moderate, or fast in your pace. I'm choosing to go slow today. And because we've been diving over the lap, pay attention to where you feel the stretch more in your hips. So more than likely, if your left foot is out in front, you're feeling it more in your left hip. More than likely with your right foot out in front, you're feeling it in the right hip. Okay, so that makes a difference. Come up to the top, flip your hands open, close the eyes, pause. Feel the effect. Notice how imbalanced it seems to be, right? More energy on one side of the body, more sensation on one side of the body. So let's go ahead and match it up. But we're gonna crisscross the feet the opposite way, because now we're gonna lean towards the left thigh and knee, sweep over to the right, inhale to the top. And so I like to mention on occasion that I read in a Yoga Journal magazine, probably 10 years ago now, that New Yorkers we're really falling in love with Kriyas. Kriyas are these repetitive motion or patterns. They show up a lot in Kundalini Yoga. And it's not that you would have to do a whole hour of Kriyas, right? Just one of these Kriyas could prepare you enough to sit for meditation. And this is what New Yorkers were finding to be so beneficial, because think about New York City, how lively it is, how entertaining it is, how distracting it would be, how noisy it is, right? And then to try to sit and meditate with all that happening around you. So they discovered these Kriyas help them a lot. So if it helps New Yorkers, it can definitely help us down in Tennessee. Come back up to sit. Now flip your palms open. See if this concentrated effort can move you into a meditative state. Just seeing if we can get a glimpse of that, but now open the eyes. And this is for your own self-study, figuring out, okay, well, that worked today. Let me try that tomorrow. We're going to come to hands and knees. When you come to hands and knees, you're going to shift forward so the shoulders slightly go past your wrist, and you're going to drop and hover. And then inhale, you're pressing up. So we're just building a little upper body strength. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, press up. 3 more. We're just doing 5. Now inhale, lift, and exhale to child's pose. Rest in child's. Relaxing your shoulders, arms, wrists, and hands. And then inhale, stretch the arms forward and out, elbows lift up, face lifts up to gaze down the length of your mat. Rock up hands and knees, curl the toes, take it to plank. All right, we're gonna continue a little flow practice here to see if this is more beneficial. Holding your plank, exhale to downward facing dog. Now gaze at your feet. Because my feet were too wide. If your feet are too wide, narrow the distance between them. So it's like 2 fists in between the big toes, or about 4 inches. And then inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank, building strength here. Exhale, down dog, strength and flexibility here. Last one, inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, hold and breathe. Pressing and rooting through the hands and rising up through your seat. So if you're ever needing to meditate and don't have time to practice any type of forward fold, so down dog is a forward fold / inversion, descend to your knees, take it back to child's to rest your arms and hands. Even child's pose is a forward fold. So the forward folds are calming for the mind and the body. And so maybe just holding an uttanasana or holding a child's pose before you sit to meditate would be what you need. That recipe may change according to the season of what you're practicing or what you're going through in life. And that's why it's so important to know all these different techniques. Inhale, stretch the arms forward and out. Rock up hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now travel the feet forward towards the top of the mat. The hands can also come back to meet the feet if that's easier for you. But you're folding to Uttanasana. Now notice when you fold to Uttanasana, once you walk forward, you really have to think about driving the feet down and lifting the kneecaps up. Otherwise, you're going to be more relaxed stance. So go ahead and elongate your legs, structure them, get the belly to hug in, let your arms and head hang down, and you can even provide a little movement in your neck. And as you inhale, slide your hands up the legs, reach out through the crown of the head. And then exhale, pour back down, Uttanasana. Right, this is our new flow, working the hamstrings and hips. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Last one, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Notice how that increases that work in the hamstrings, and then fold down and in. On your next in-breath, root down to soar all the way up to the top. Place your palms together to upward worship. Exhale, bring the hands down the midline, back to Uttanasana. Inhale, take your plank. Exhale, descend your knees. And when you slide your hands back, find a block, 2 blocks, or that bolster to sit on. So I'm putting the bolster in between the ankles. Again, you may need 1 or 2 blocks. And if this pose is like, I can't do this, Ravi, my knees won't allow it, don't do it. Sit the other way, okay? So please don't force anything. When you're sitting on the prop, your feet are beside it, and it helps to block the toes from curling in towards the tailbone, because we want the toes to point straight back. And then we're going to take Dhyana Mudra. So this mudra is named after Dhyana meditation. So it's the mudra for meditation or to be contemplative. So for mid, right hand over left. For the ladies, left hand over right, thumbs touch, shoulders back, close your eyes, and check in. Maybe it's easier to drop in after that little bit of a yoga flow practice. Which was more profound? Breath work, kriyas, or flow of yoga postures? Affirming here in your own mind. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. In stillness, I get to know myself. All right. We're going to do one more specific flow, because when I was in teacher training, when we had to teach meditation, they said, teach like 2 or 3 poses to prepare them for meditation. And so I chose a back bend to open the heart, and I did camel. I don't want to do camel because it's not my favorite pose right now. But I did camel for the big expansive heart. I did a twist to get the energy coming up to the brain, and I finished with an inversion to calm the mind, all in preparation to sit. I'm going to change up what I did in teacher training for today's practice. Just keep whatever prop is there between the feet and crawl forward to tabletop position again. So instead of doing camel for the back bend, we're going to do cat-cows. So as you inhale, move into cow tilt. And as you exhale, reverse it to cat stretch. And then just continue this. And since I'm doing this more for the heart, focus a little bit more intently on what's happening in the mid and upper back, as well as your chest. Opening up the front and the back door of the heart. And then inhale, create a strong tabletop position. We're going to move into a twist / inversion, thread the needle. We're going to enter in and out of it. So as you inhale, lift your left arm. As you exhale, thread and loop it under the right, but we're coming right back up, okay? So inhale, sweep open. Exhale, thread under. Final one. And this time when you thread the arm under, pause as you rest towards your left ear. Keep hugging the belly in, maintain hips over knees. Press away from your right hand to roll towards the left shoulder blade. Breathe into your back ribs, intercostals. Inhale, come up. All right, we'll take it to the other side. Right arm sweeps out and up. Exhale, thread the needle. 2 more. Synchronize with breath. And this time when you come down towards the right ear, keep the thighs perpendicular to the floor, press into your left hand, roll towards the right scapula. Press into the left hand, inhale, come up. So we got 3 of those type of poses in. The heart opening back bend, which creates an open, expansive heart. We need that for meditation. We did the twist, getting the energy operating through all 7 chakras, rising up to the brain, something else that we need for meditation, as well as an inversion, which is a calming agent for the mind. So come back to sit on the prop between the ankles. Take your Dhyana meditative hand mudra, and we're going to sit again. Notice if that specific flow helps to induce a more meditative state versus maybe the plank and down dog. In stillness, I touch my inner strength. In stillness, I cultivate inner peace. In stillness, I am contented and whole, and I return to source energy. And then open up your eyes, move and shift forward. And I think I promised Yoga Nidra. So we're going to go back to restore. And I have tried Yoga Nidra in a back bend and it was uncomfortable. I have tried Yoga Nidra with legs at the wall and it didn't work out very well. I really feel like Yoga Nidra, you should feel like you're comfortable enough to go to sleep, even though it's the state of sleepless sleep. So my suggestion would be the bolster under your thighs and knees, maybe a blanket or pillow under your head. And since we relax more with Yoga Nidra, I would cover with a blanket or add on an extra shirt since your body temperature may drop. So I'll give you a moment to gather what you need to get set up. And I want you to view Yoga Nidra as being a type of meditation, because it's meant to be a meditation, and it's one of very few meditations that work when you're in a supine position. If you have anything to cover your eyes, you're welcome to use that. Otherwise, just close the lids of the eyes. With Yoga Nidra, we begin with a sankalpa, a positive statement or resolve. We're going to use I am focused today. I want it to be specific regarding this theme. And focus is the only way we get to meditation. Meditation is the only way we reach Samadhi. So state 3 times over, I am focused. Then I want you to bring your attention down into your right foot. Relax your right foot from the outside in and the inside out, softening all 5 toes. Continue to relax your ankle, and then start to draw this attention and relaxation up through the right leg. Relaxing the calf, the shin, and the knee from the outside in and the inside out. Continue your focus on your right leg, bringing your awareness and attention into your right thigh, hip, and buttocks. Relaxing these parts from the outside in and the inside out. Now that you've relaxed your right leg, let's focus on the left. Bring your attention down into your left foot, relaxing it from the outside in and the inside out, and softening all 5 toes. Relax your left ankle, Begin to work it upstream through the left leg, softening the calf, the shin, and your knee. Relax your left thigh, hip, and that side of the buttocks. Relaxing from the outside in and the inside out. Bring attention and awareness so that you are specifically softening the pelvic floor and ensuring that you're not gripping or holding in your belly or back. In fact, surf the wave of the breath as it rolls up the front of the body, and imagine it rolling down through the back side of the body. Soften the shoulders and release down through the right arm. Relaxing the right upper arm, the right forearm, the wrist, the palm, and all 5 fingers. Soften and relax the left upper arm, the left forearm, the wrist, palm, and all 5 fingers. Softening your throat, your neck, relaxing the sensory organs from the eyes to the nose, to the ears, and the mouth. Relaxing your entire body from the soles of the feet to the crown of your head. Staying focused and affirming mentally within, I am focused. I am focused. Then imagine as you breathe and channel the breath up and down the astral spine, that the astral spine is illuminated with a column of light. Imagine with each breath that you take that the column of light is growing more expansive. It's moving forward and back and side to side to the point where you're being illuminated from the inside out. being immersed in so much inner light that it's piercing through the pores of your skin, setting your body and your aura aglow. Seeing your body as holding light and emanating light is actually used by a lot of light workers as a shield of protection. You can even imagine yourself surrounded by a bubble of light, where your light can shine through, but nothing can break in. Stay focused on your inner light and this visual, and even affirming, I am focused. And let this be your focus, your point of concentration, until you no longer need it. Until it takes you to that meditative state of existence. It's indescribable. Now drop the focus from the affirmation if you're using it. So it's just, I am. hearing the sound of the mindfulness bell chiming, let that be your cue to deepen the flow of your breath, to begin to create movement with your body, to eventually slide the feet in, to roll to one side, and to join me in a formal seat. Bringing hands to Anjali Mudra. Om, Om, Om. May we all benefit from this practice. And may this practice benefit the collective. May this remind us to meditate and to do enough self-study when we're on the mat to learn what can help to drop us in. Whether it's breath work, mantras or affirmations, kriyas, or a flow. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.
Thanks, Ravi.
Thank you guys. I hope it was